Hi everyone, I'm Imogen from Course Report, and we are a resource for researching which coding bootcamp is right for you. We have a directory of different coding schools, tons of reviews, a blog, and interviews with founders, instructors, and students, all to help you work out which bootcamp you want to go to. Today, I'm really excited to be speaking with Alon, who is an alum of Hack Reactor's remote beta program. You probably know about Hack Reactor in San Francisco, but you may not know that they offer an online version of their in-person full-time bootcamp. Alon is going to tell us about his experience studying remotely with Hack Reactor, show us one of his projects, and tell us what he's up to today. So Alon, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yay. So I heard that you were recently at the White House to talk about the New Orleans tech scene. I was wondering if you could start by telling me about that and why you were doing that.
Yeah. So that was actually a part of the Police Data Initiative. So there's a nonprofit coding school here called Operation Spark. And in July of 2015, they held a hackathon. So people, White House fellows, they created the Police Data Initiative, and then they brought it here to New Orleans. So we worked alongside of the New Orleans Police Department, the City Hall officials, and then we had people from the community developers and people who were learning how to code as well. So we took on the police data. They released it and opened it to us. They gave us a preview of it. We were able to hack on it and create applications and really cool stuff and do data visualizations and things like that on the data that they released. And through that, we were able to give them feedback on how they could improve the data, so then they could release it to the public and it would be consumable by everyone. So they took the feedback and then they just released their data. I think it was in February of this year. So I was at the White House talking about, that they had the Police Data Initiative event. So police departments from around the country who said yes to the Police Data Initiative, that they would, work hard to make their data open to the public. All of those representatives from those different police departments came out, and there was like a summit of sorts to talk on it and to also discuss how we could do better in the future as well. So.
Wow, congratulations. That sounds like such an amazing initiative and so important as well.
Yeah,
Really
yes,
cool.
it's super important.
Yeah, that's so cool. Wow, well done. All right, well, let's just back up a little bit because I'm really interested in your kind of background, kind of before Hack Reactor Remote Beta, before you got into coding. Like, what's your kind of background and before that?
Yeah, so my background, I came down to New Orleans. I'm from St. Louis, so I came down to New Orleans in 2010 for college. And there I studied physics and math for 2 years. And my original plan was to finish at Loyola University. I was in a 3-2 program, so I would graduate. I would spend 3 years at Loyola, then go 2 years at a different university, and I would graduate with a degree in math and physics and then a degree in engineering as well. So my plan was to always go into computer engineering or software engineering with that degree. I just wasn't able to finish at school, for financial reasons and things like that. So I've always been really interested in computers and learning how to code and everything like that. So following that, I stayed in New Orleans, and then I was just kind of working. I worked in sales for a couple years, and then just other odd jobs just to kind of get by. And then I got introduced to Operation Spark, and then that is where the whole actual learning to code journey started.
Awesome. So did you take a course at Operation Spark?
Yeah, so Operation Spark, they at the time they were offering just an intro to JavaScript course, and the one that I did, it was part-time. It was 2 days a week, and it lasted for 3 months. So it was a couple hours a day, 2 days a week for about 3 months.
Cool, that's awesome. And then what made you after that decide you wanted to do more study and and enroll in Hack Reactor?
Well, when the first day I got there, well, even before then, I was just really excited about the opportunity. And then when I actually got the chance to start learning how to code, then I just kind of fell in love with it. I would be up really, really late working on the projects and things that we had. Like John Fabroni, he's the CEO and founder of Operation Spark. And he always like tells a story about they would get pings and notifications of the students who did their work. So he would always get pings and notifications of me doing my work at 12, 1, 2 in the morning, you know, just really going at it. So I just kind of fell in love with it. And I didn't really know what next steps to take, but they were already looking to partner with Hack Reactor. So John told me about it, and he said that that was the way to go, that this was an awesome program. And I just trusted in the process and just went along with it.
That's awesome. And did you look at any other kind of full-time coding boot camps before you decided to do Hack Reactor, or any other online coding boot camp?
I didn't really know that there were many offerings out there. I just kind of was like lasered in on like this path, and I didn't really start learning that there were other boot camps, or really a bunch of other boot camps, until I was in Hack Reactor, and then people started like talking about it. So, and then that's when I started looking up different boot camps just to see like who it was and like what they did and what they taught.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you made a good decision, because Hack Reactor is a very well-known boot camp for sure.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. And I was wondering what the kind of application and interview process was like for the Hack Reactor remote program.
Mm-hmm. So I think they might have changed it nowadays, but when I did it, there was, you have to apply online. There's a small coding challenge that you have to do before you can actually even apply. So that encourages you to go on, you know, Code Academy or whatever else to kind of teach yourself the basics. So you do the coding challenge at the beginning, then you apply, and then they give you materials to study in order to prepare for your interview. And then you set up you set up for an interview with somebody, and that usually takes about an hour long over Skype. And then they just ask you, kind of hammer you with a whole bunch of questions to test your knowledge, and also to test how well you do on the spot with problems that you might not know how to do.
Awesome. And did you find that the class you'd done at Operation Spark really helped you with that process? Yeah,
it did. It helped a lot. And I think for Operation Spark, what it did for me was it gave me that initial drive, and also the initial idea that I could succeed in this field, because they have you surrounded by people who are already software engineers in the city. So they have like a lot of dealings with people like that. And then John, he's actually a software engineer as well. Or, you know, before he started Operation Spark, he was like in the game industry and things like that. So being in that environment kind of gave me just a lot of drive and a lot of excitement about what I could achieve because of who I was surrounded by. So that really helped with like the motivation part and the wanting to study and just going after and just kind of reading and learning everything that I could. So and then also it had like kind of a plan of action to get you there as well. So
that's awesome. That's so cool. And then once you started the Hack Reactor remote program, can you tell me about kind of the overall learning experience and what kind of a typical day was like while learning through Hack Reactor?
Yeah, so it was it was crazy. It took getting used to, because, you know, it's 11 hours a day, it's 6 days a week. And so it's kind of like, I guess how people say drinking through a fire hose, right? So there's just all this information. The sprints are really short. They're typically 2-day sprints, which forces you to learn at a rapid pace and also not be distracted and learn how to use your resources very, very wisely so that you can get to the end of each sprint. So so going into it, maybe the first day or two was like review. It was kind of easier. But then once you get past that part, then it's just craziness. Like in a good way though.
Wow. And so what was like a typical day when you're studying?
So a typical day would be you get in and then you have a morning like meeting. Typically in the very beginning, there's like a morning meeting, and then afterwards you have or once you get, I guess, into like week 2, then you have like reviews and stuff, which are what are they called? Self-assessments. You have those every week, and then you pair. You know, then you get your assignment, and it's like solo kind of reviewing of the sprint and what you're going to be doing, getting, you know, figuring out the basic requirements and things like that, and the time to kind of start coding it on your own, like in a separate repo, so you don't, you know, pollute you and your partner's repo. And then afterwards, you get with your partner, and then you just kind of pair all day long. And then they have in the evening they have presentations. So everybody's supposed to do like a short presentation on like some type of technology or, you know, whatever else technologically related that you want to talk about. And then after that, then you go into a more pair program. And then obviously lunch and dinner is in there as well. But
cool, awesome. Wow, it sounds intense, but also cool. And I was wondering what kind of learning platform you were using. Like, is it like proprietary platform that Hack Reactor built, or how were you kind of, yeah, interacting with the curriculum?
yeah, so they actually had a team from Hack Reactor. It was like some full-time software engineers and then some students who worked with them in the Hacker in Residence program, and they built this platform that Hack Reactor uses called Bootstrap. And so that has like all the curriculum and you know, and everything else you need, all like resources, you know, the videos and, you know, lectures and things like that on there as well. So
that's so cool. And did you have like just one instructor, or were you kind of interacting with a bunch of different instructors?
yeah, so so they have technical mentors there. There are a mixture of live lectures and video lectures. So the live lectures, there were different instructors. The video lectures, there were like different instructors as well. And then you had like your technical mentors. There were like 2 or 3 technical mentors there who did like town halls and stuff, which after every sprint, then, or during and after every sprint, then you have like these town halls, which are like 20-30-minute sessions where you can ask questions and kind of clear the air on any confusion, and also kind of go deeper into the sprint and things that you want to know about as well. So there were like different people that you interact with like all the time, but they get familiar like really quick because you're there all the time. So
that's cool. And you were mentioning about doing a lot of pairing. Yes. Were you paired up with the same person throughout, or did you kind of alternate?
No, you alternate. The classes were, so we had 20-something people in the class, which gave room to pair with almost everybody over that time. And then towards the end, you get to pick your own pair. So you could go and pair with somebody over again if you really like pairing with them, or you could just continue going down the line.
Oh, that's awesome. So it sounds like you've got to know the other people in your class quite well.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so where were they from? Were they from different parts of the US, and what kind of backgrounds did they have?
Yeah, so they were from all over. So we had a guy, gosh, was it Poland? I think he was from Poland. Wow. I'm pretty sure it's Poland. And then we had our shepherd, who he was in the Hacker in Residence program. and he kind of like made sure we were okay and stuff like that. So he was from Switzerland, and then, you know, we had people like from all over the country. When I went into the Hacker in Residence program, that class had a guy in Brazil. In my class, we had a guy in Korea, and most people are from like the United States, but there are people who are like all over the world as well. And we kind of felt bad because their day was completely opposite, because you have to run on San Francisco time. So
wow, that's intense for them.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I've heard before that some people have kind of said that they feel like it's easier to kind of learn to code at an in-person kind of situation. Because you know, you're there with the people. But I mean, it sounds like this method of learning sounds like it works, even though you're, you know, far away from all the people you're learning with.
Yeah, I think it works really well. And I think that the reason that it works is because you do have to try a bit harder. You know, the people aren't right next to you to where you can pair with them, you know, right there, and, you know, and swap notes super easy. So you have to try a bit harder. You know, I think it kind of just depends on who you are. I think in person is awesome, but I don't think that anybody should knock the remote experience either, because it was great. We had a lot of fun, and then you have to, you know, people use different machines. Like there were people who were using like Windows machines when most people were using Mac. So you pair with them, and then you have to work around like their problems, and it just teaches you like a whole different concept of problem solving. Then, you know, working with people who are in different time zones than you. You know, it's just like kind of a whole different type of thing that you have to solve. But then also too, the time that you spend pair programming, I have friends that, you know, now I've never seen them in person before, but like I consider them friends. You know, we talk like all the time, or less now that we're working, but you know, during Hack Reactor, and especially like during the job phase or the Hacker in Residence, we talked all the time, and we, you know, shared notes, and, you know, we have our Slack channels where it's, you know, just us certain people, and, you know, and we're talking all the time still. So it's an awesome experience.
That's so cool. That sounds amazing. And I was wondering how many hours per week you were spending on Hack Reactor work, like kind of, as well as the kind of compulsory 11 hours a day.
Yeah, I think I guess it depends. So during Hack Reactor, during the first 6 weeks is the curriculum phase, and then the next 6 weeks are the project phase. So during the curriculum phase, I would stay up maybe an hour, sometimes two later, but I would try to get my sleep because it was new, and I wanted to like make sure that I was functioning properly and things like that. Unless I just was way behind on a sprint or something, then I would, you know, stay up. But during project phase, like the thesis project and things like that, I was up all night. I mean, so for me being in Central Time Zone, it was from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then I would go home, then I'd be up working on my thesis project from, by the time I got home, around 11 to sometimes 4 a.m. You know, me and this other person who were on my team, we would be up super duper, or she wasn't on my team, she was on another team working on her thesis, but we would be up all the time together working on our projects super duper late. So yeah, it just kind of depends, I guess, on the phase of the program.
That's so interesting. And you were saying that you were getting home. Were you working out of somewhere else while you were studying? Yeah, so the cool thing with Operation Spark is that we actually did the in-person remote thing originally. So I was there with 6 other people, and then we were all doing the remote program together in a room. So
So that was really awesome. And then it made it really cool as well, because in the very beginning, they tried not to pair us together. So we still had to have that remote experience all the time. It wasn't like we were in person, so we paired together all the time, you know, so.
That's so cool. That's so nice that you were able to, you know, work out of a different space. Very cool. Awesome. Well, we were talking before about your thesis project, and I'm excited to take a look at that if you want to share your screen now.
Yes, for sure. Let me take out so you can hear, and share the screen. So, or I guess I can just kind of give you a small intro to it now, and then we explain it in our actual presentation as well. So this is an actual company. It's called Cultureless, and the idea was thought up before Hack Reactor by Sam Bowler. That's our CEO and founder. And then we started working and actually building the project during the thesis phase of Hack Reactor and continued working on it. So our product now looks a lot different than our presentation did back then, because we're like revamping it and we're trying to add more people to our team and things like that, and keep building on that infrastructure so we can actually like release it to the public. But I'm excited about that. I haven't watched it or been in, you know, seen this presentation since I gave it, so I'm pretty excited now to see.
Cool. Yay.
So I'll go ahead and share.
All right, hello everybody. I am Micaiah Smith, and together with our dev team, Alice Green, Alon Robinson, Brian Baskell, and myself, our Scrum Masters, Brian Kustra and Victor York, and our product owner, Sam Bowler, we are Cultureless.
A good question to ask is, where is the LinkedIn for artists? That's what Cultureless can be. We also allow fans to directly support their artists. When users find an artist they love, they can sign up for rewards that the artist creates exclusively for their fans. From anywhere from $1 and up, citizens can become a patron of their local culture. And now we're excited to explore the website and share Darren's story. Take it away, Ryan.
Darren is a native to New Orleans and has been playing the bass since he's 10 years old. He's gotten a few gigs with some local bands, but he doesn't make enough from his music to survive without a second job. Darren joined up as a user in Cultureless a few weeks ago to check out the features, and now wants to join up as an artist. When Darren heads to his dashboard, he can easily sign up as an artist by clicking the Become an Artist button. Here he can fill out information about himself that will help new fans discover Darren and his music. Filling in all the information will allow Darren to show up in more searches when fans decide to filter for specifics. He selects his medium, music, and since he plays the upright bass for a few jazz bands, he'll select jazz as a genre. He can also add any social media links to other sites. And once Darren saves his information, the site will give him access to the rest of his dashboard as an artist and jump him over to his content page.
Awesome.
Yes.
Darren can upload his profile and cover photos to make his face look a bit more appealing by simply dragging and dropping or browsing files on his computer. He can instantly upload photos. Once they are uploaded, the photos will populate below, and he can select. He can select one as a profile photo or as a cover photo. Now, the big pull for Darren to join Cultureless was the ability to allow his fans to subscribe to more rewards he would offer and be able to define. Darren's big brother-in-law has a bar with a private room where Darren will offer a monthly show and cocktail hour as a recurrent reward. He's going to start by offering this reward at $10 a month. This allows Darren to set up a unique experience for his supporters. Once he's done setting up this reward, Darren can check out his profile page.
At the top of Darren's profile, you'll see his profile picture, name, a short bio, links to his social media pages, and a catalyze button that allows users to directly support an artist. When he scrolls down, you can see his YouTube video introduction, a longer bio, the rewards that he's created, and an area for him to post messages to his fans. Darren is going to leave a post before he logs out to update his fans about his gig tonight. And now to Sam to introduce us to Tina.
Tina really likes music. In particular, she loves the bass and is always looking for new musicians to follow. She recently went to a show at Bootcamp where there was an amazing bassist. He mentioned to find him on Cultureless, and she definitely wants to hear more of his music. She can discover some artists in a specific medium by scrolling over the buttons and looking at certain mediums, and she can also take a look at featured artists in her city. Once on the Discovery page, Tina's on a mission to find that bassist, so she travels to the Discovery page to search for him. She can select from several media, and each of those media can have submedia or genres. So she's able to really narrow her search to her preferences, which in this case are music and jazz. She sees several jazz musicians, so she needs to filter down a bit more. And she realizes she's already found Darren.
She checks out his profile page and tells she definitely found her guy. She clicks the Catalyze button to find out how she can support him and what rewards he's offering. She sees he's offering a private performance and decides she can't miss out on this awesome reward. When she selects the reward, the site directs her to Stripe so she can subscribe to this reward monthly.
Tina tells her friends about Darren and suggests they all subscribe to his reward. Every month they head over to Darren's show to hang out with him and his other fans. The show has gotten pretty big in the past 6 months. Darren has added a bunch of new rewards and is now making $2,500 a month from Cultureless alone. Tina and Darren have become Cultureless' biggest advocates because of the impact it has had in their lives. With their help, many people from New Orleans are now using Cultureless, and artists are now making a living wage and able to focus on their craft.
That's such an awesome project. I love it. And so you started working on this for your thesis project, and then did you guys continue working on it after you graduated?
Yes. So it slowed down a bit because some people went into job search, others were in the Hacker in Residence program. So it kind of slowed down from the initial momentum. But now we have kind of like reassembled. Some people have left, some people have joined, some people are just working as like consultants on it. And then we're looking to like add more people on there so we can like really make it look really nice and then go ahead and like finish the functionality out and release it to the public. So but I like that video though, because it kind of shows like things that you actually deal with, you know, the connection trouble, or you know, or like if you know, things that can actually happen if you're not sharing your screen, if your mic is muted and things like that, that you kind of deal with like all the time, but it's still a good time, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so all those people speaking in the video, were they also Hack Reactor remote students?
Yes. Those and we were actually all in New Orleans together. So we all worked on that was the only time we like all worked together, our thesis project. We all decided to work on that together. So.
Oh, cool. So that was the group of you who were working out of Operation Spark.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yay. Oh, well done. It looks like a really cool project. And so how long did it kind of take to get it to the stage it was at when you did that demo?
Yeah, so that was after, or I guess that was like 3.5, 4 weeks, I think, 3.5 to 4. Yeah. Wow,
that's impressive. Very cool. And did you build it all using full stack JavaScript?
Yeah. So we used Angular, Node Express, and then we used SQLite for our database. And then nowadays we're migrating to PostgreSQL. Very awesome. That's so cool. Oh, well, good luck with that. I hope you guys, I hope it flourishes and it does well when you make it public. It's so cool. Thank you so much. Is it live at all now? Are we able to link to it? It's not live at all now, no. Okay, no worries. Cool. So just back to Hack Reactor Remote for a second. Looking back over your time there, what do you think you liked best about working with the Hack Reactor Remote team? I think everything. The staff was awesome. They were just really cool. So the head of delivery her name is Liz Penny, and she's just such a character. I mean, so we would have like in our meetings and stuff, we would have meow offs which is where somebody begins meowing a song and they have to keep meowing it until somebody guesses what the song is. So we would like do that all the time, and she's just like a fun character. And then through her being the head of delivery, her energy and stuff just kind of transfers to everyone else and just makes it a really fun environment, really supportive and encouraging. And then I think the people that I met also is just awesome. Like I said before, I made some real friends who I still haven't seen in person yet. And then also I love Hack Reactor because it taught you how to learn. I know I'm confident now. I can say, yeah, I don't know everything, but I'm confident that if I have a problem, then I can find the resources and figure out how to solve the problem. So
that's amazing. And so when you first graduated from Hack Reactor Remote, what did you do after that?
So after that, I went into their Hacker in Residence program. So since I was a part of Operation Spark, the kind of in-person remote thing, they selected me to go help kind of pilot an experimental type thing out in Mountain View, California with another person, to where we would be opening kind of like an on-site extension to the remote program. So there was me and one other person, and then there were a couple people who were on site doing the remote program together.
That's so cool. And so you guys worked together and built this kind of new product.
Yeah, so it was like I mean, everything, we didn't like really like touch the curriculum. So the curriculum is always kind of iterating, which is another thing that I like. So we didn't really like touch, we left the curriculum up to them, but we were just kind of in charge of ensuring the success of people. We were called shepherds. So we were in charge of the on-site and the remote people, ensuring their success of the program. And then also like figuring out if this type of thing works and how well it works, and like reporting that stuff back as well, getting feedback from the students on how they felt about the program to see if this is something that they wanted to actually continue doing. So
that's so cool. And then what happened after you finished with that?
So after that, I came back to New Orleans in April, and then I started my job search. And that was when I went to the White House and came back and then kind of really hunkered down in my job search. And then now I just started, this past Monday, I started as a developer at GE Digital.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
So cool.
Thank you, thank you.
And so what are you doing there?
I'm a front-end developer. And so GE Digital, they're going into the industrial internet, or in the industrial internet of things. I don't know if you've been seeing those GE commercials lately. They're really funny. You have to look them up. Okay. But basically they're just kind of making fun of how everybody thinks of GE as like an appliance company or something like that. But they're trying to let the world know that they're going into like this industrial kind of revolution type thing. So I'll be working on their platform, their industrial IoT platform called Predicts, and building cool stuff on that. So
that's so exciting. That's so cool. And did Hack Reactor at all help you with that job search process to find this job?
Yeah. So they pair you up with an outcomes coach. And my outcomes coach was phenomenal. She was just completely amazing. She had a lot of experience, and she works with CEOs of companies and all types of like crazy things already. And so she brought that level of expertise to Hack Reactor and really helped me in just my overall confidence, my negotiation skills, and just presenting myself and not making stuff up, but really presenting myself as who I am and the value that I bring to a company. So it was really awesome being able to work with her and pinpoint those things as well. And then a lot of stuff with Hack Reactor, like the resume stuff. You know, she worked with me on, you know, she looked over my resume. She looked over emails I was sending to different companies, and just kind of the whole package. You know, I could hit her up at, you know, and say, hey, I'm about to, you know, reply to this company. I don't really know what to say. And we would, you know, have a conversation about it, and she would make suggestions and things like that on the emails that I would be sending to these companies. So it was a really awesome experience working with her.
That's so cool. That's brilliant. And now you're at GE. What's your kind of day-to-day look like so far?
So far, well, since this is my first week, I'm doing a lot of reading. So I've been reading like all day long, just figuring out the platform, what it does, you know, what it can be used for and things like that. And then now I'm finally I was doing like the kind of tutorials and the introductions on it. Now I'm finally getting into to actual applications where they have like the seed applications. I can, you know, see how they built that out and see what it actually does. And then on July 11th, they put my team together. Finally, they got the amount of people they needed for my team. And then we're actually launching our project on July 11th. We're going to be starting a brand new project then.
Cool, that's so exciting. And are you going to be mainly using like JavaScript and the stuff you learned at Hack Reactor, or are you having to learn some new technologies?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I will, because there's gonna be two front-end devs on the team, so I'm one of two. So we'll be working with Angular and Polymer, and then there's a lot of Java at GE, and then that the back end is built with, and yeah, so I'll definitely have to like learn Java at some point. And so the cool thing about GE is that the company's so big that I will have the chance to touch everything. So I'll be, you know, able to work front end, and then, you know, once we, you know, get a lot of progress on that, then I can say, hey, I want to, you know, work on the back end and begin learning Java, or, you know, things like that. And I think somebody told me that some of their backend is built in Golang as well. So if it is, I'm excited to like learn that as well. And then there's also a chance to like, you know, go to like the UX designer, you know, way, or, you know, even if I didn't want to do that anymore and I say, hey, I want to work in security, they're really big on like getting you where you want to be in the company. And then it's big enough to where you can actually do that. So
that's brilliant. It sounds like the perfect first job as a developer. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like it so far. Thank you.
So cool. And we're at my last question now. I was wondering what advice you have for people thinking about doing an online bootcamp.
Yeah, I would say don't, because I think a lot of people, especially if you're doing Hack Reactor or courses that are long in hours like that, I think a lot of people presume that like doing an online course like this will give them like the freedom that they, you know, desire as well. And you can find, I know that there are like some part-time courses and things like that, but the length is kind of stretched out further. But if you're thinking about going to Hack Reactor, I'd say don't underestimate the time commitment, because that is really important. You know, you do have to put in a lot of work, and you will be able to like work from home, but like you can't use that as an excuse to like kind of slack off or anything, because you will fall behind very, very quickly. But also, you know, to people thinking about it, I had, you know, one of the best times of my life. It was amazing, and the opportunities that I gained from that, and the people that I met from that was like completely worth, you know, all the hours and things that I put in. And then, you know, and now I'm employed, you know, as a full-time, you know, software developer at a very large company. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it. Do it. I don't believe that you will regret the decision.
Amazing. Yeah, that's such good advice. And it sounds like it was just such a life-changing experience for you. That's so cool. Amazing.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much, Alon, for going through all that with me and telling me about your experience. It sounds like it was awesome, and I'm so excited for you with this new job. I hope it goes amazingly. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It was awesome to be here.
No problem. Thanks. See ya.
All right. See you later.